Bashers. Bashers. What's up, everybody in the chats? How are we all tonight? Having a bit of coffee. 12 in the room. With 0 a minute ago. I was like, what the fuck did I do? Other than I need a haircut desperately, I just rolled out of the shower. And I'm like, oh God, I need a haircut so bad. After having really long hair for the past, I guess 2019, I decided to not cut my hair for a while because I thought I looked like a banker. And then I grew my hair to like my waist. And it was red because that was my signature color back in the metal days. And I don't know. And I thought there was going to be tons of gigs and festivals and all kinds of cool shit. And there was nothing. Absolutely fuck all. So I just kind of rolled it up in a hat and put it on my head. Anyway, it's Tuesday, which means it's a Speedy Tuesday. So I didn't even think about that because I've been so shitty. I've been so starry-eyed Milgauss that I haven't been given a lot of wrist time to her, and that's a shame because it is Speedy Tuesday. My audio is tinny, somebody said. Sounds really good in my headphones, so if that's true, let me know. I've got a great mic, big preamp, so usually it's usually the internet gods that dictate whether or not it's going to look or sound good. So you let me know if it sounds tinny, because in my headphones it sounds like it always does. Yep, it sounds tinny, huh? Let me check my audio. Give me 1 second, please. I will check that for you. Audio. That's what happened. 1 minute, please. You're absolutely right. Thank you for telling me that. I'm going to fix this in 1 split second. 1 moment, please. That's good. Check 1 2 2 2 check. Sorry about that, kiddos. Sorry about that. I figured out what it was. I actually, it sounds great in my headphones because I'm plugged into my Scarlett 8x8. Got the big Focusrite. But you guys weren't getting that. You were getting the internal microphone from my computer. So, hey, sorry about that. Sometimes you just have to hit restart and get it going. Anyway, all apologies. 29 in the room. Let's see who's in the room today. We're going to talk about Speedmasters because it's Tuesday. We're going to talk about the Daniel Craig sighting. Daniel Craig spotted wearing a white face Speedmaster. We don't know the caliber. The bracelet looks the same. The case looks the same. It just looks like the current 3861, but with a white dial with a red line. It says Speedmaster in red. I have a picture of that. We'll look at it in a minute. So we got Mark in Brooklyn. Yes, Mark, I know about that. I've got it queued up. We'll talk about that in a second. Rolex found liable of like an antitrust situation with the selling of internet watches. Very, very interesting. The regulator said that Rolex was jointly liable with Rolex Holding, which, as you all know, is a charitable company because Rolex does not pay Swiss tax. So we'll get to that in a second. So Eazy-E's here. What up, homie? Head Groundsman. Ibash's baby. Solvents. Easy again. Solvents. Poop Deck Paul. Yep, sounds tinny great. Space Ace. Andrew Wolkowicz. Hey, Andrew, you're here. Hey, man. Hey, buddy. How are you? I'm not wearing black today. I'm wearing gray because it was clean. And I need to go on Ozempic because I'm 168 pounds and I'm usually 150 pounds. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to jump on the Ozempic train because I'm usually like 150, 155, and anything above that is just nuts. And I'm 168. I got on the scale and I was like, oh no, I've been baking bread and doing all kinds of stupid crap. So yeah. Hey, Jean-Claude Biver. He's wearing a Breitling chronograph, not a Speedy Tuesday. Listen, oh, it's Wednesday where you are. Okay. Hey man, listen. I've been pumping up the Breitling train because I'm trying to get John Hamm to be their spokesperson because I think it's a great company and I think they make nice watches and I think they're storied 1884. I mean, they've been around as long, if not longer, than almost everyone. Longer than most. They have it's a storied brand with just a crap history, you know. Easy says Apple ruled by courts not to sell its swatches for now. Swatches? It's watches. Now, due to bio blood sensor being infringed by another company's patents. Oh, man, you guys are on top of that. Andrew Volkovich, he's 6 foot and 175. Like, look at that. You got 6 pounds, it's 7 pounds on me, and I'm 5'8". Not good. Tobster McDunky says, really like Oshin a lot, but I just can't wrap my brain around his constant shilling and advocating for Gaza. Well, here's an example. You own your house. You live there. Your grandparents live there. Your parents live there. Your grandparents live. Everybody lived there in your house, right? And one day, some neighbors show up, right? And then you notice your fence keeps moving over. And then it's over. And then the next thing you know, there's people living in your living room. And then the next thing you know, there's people living in your kitchen. The next thing you know, you're out on the street. That's essentially it. Do you need to really any more explanation than that? That's how I feel about it. Though I am extremely middle of the road on a lot of political issues and terrorism issues and all those kinds of things. I think that, listen, yeah, Israel has a right to defend itself. Well, sure they do, but well, oh man, that's a whole other thing. That's not my channel, so that's not what I want to talk about. But you know, how would you like it if somebody just moved into your house and just kicked you out? Because that's the simplest way I can compare the two things. You know, if you think a certain people have a divine right to it, then, you know, that's a conversation you need to have with people who think like you. But I don't agree with terrorism. I don't agree with murder of civilians and slaughter of people. I love all my Jewish friends. I love all my Arabic friends, my Muslim friends, and a lot of my Jewish friends totally agree with me. Benjamin Netanyahu and all of his fucking succubi motherfuckers. Those guys are all Putin-esque militia, you know. Now let's not get into the whole you want to get into a politic thing, and I don't really want to. 12 me, you need to get off Newsmax, man. You need to get off of what is it called, OAN and all that shit, you know. The United States is a country. If you go on 23andMe or ancestry.com, no one's DNA is going to say they're American, because there's no such fucking thing unless you're an indigenous person. So you're not American. I'm not American. We're not Americans. We came and we fucking slaughtered everybody in this country and we took it. So there you go. I mean, there's no DNA that says you're American. Whatever. I don't want to get into that. Let's talk about watches and other shit. Andrew Olgage, I'm the same height and build I was at 55 that I was at 20, minus the blonde pompadour swept back into a ducktail. I don't think I've ever. Well, I can see a picture of you with like a Crocodile Dundee hat, you know, which is good. I mean, I gone up and down my whole life. When I was a skinny metal rocker, I had been a fat teenager, and I had gotten down to like 117 pounds in the late 80s and 90s, and looked like a pretty girl and all that stuff. And you know, then when I stopped doing that, I learned how to bake and cook and make great stuff. And even though I'm a vegetarian, you know, bread, not good. Jean-Claude Biver says, Fry's Monster Richville so awesome. Great buying. If I wore a dress from Rogers, I'd have Miami too. That's a fact, kiddos. So let's take a look at that. Let's read the article because it's really interesting. Because Rolex gets a free ride. They don't have to pay tax. They only have ADs. They don't actually have stores where Rolex sell you a watch. Those are authorized dealers. Those are sold to those people and blah, blah, blah. So what do we got? Rolex fined $100 million for thwarting online watch sales. Well, isn't this interesting? Oh, are they not going to let me read this thing? Oh man, they're not going to, right? Because I don't subscribe to Bloomberg. You have to subscribe to like every. Let me see if I click on that. What happens? Yeah, okay. So I have to find another one. I apologize for that. I didn't realize that's what that was. I'll just go Rolex. And I will go to news. Oh, no, I didn't want to go to Rolex.com. They're not going to say anything on Rolex.com, are they? Rolex news. Okay, the manual. Who's going to let me have it? Is Forbes going to let me have it? The Fashion Network. Okay, there we go. This is going to let me have it. The Autorité de la Concurrence rejected justifications from Rolex's French unit that an online ban was justified by the need to combat counterfeiting and parallel trade. The violations are serious as they amount to closing a marketing channel to the detriment of consumers and retailers when the online distribution of luxury products, including watches, has been booming for the past 15 years. Well, not in the last year or so. The fine comes out of an order from the French unit to inform its retailers of the decision and publish a summary on it. Okay, this doesn't really tell us exactly what happened. So let me see if I can find a better, I'll say Rolex find. Let's see. Business off fashion. Okay. Can I have this? I'll accept the cookies. This is the same freaking article, right? Oh God. Anybody have a great link for that? Okay. I'm gonna accept these cookies. Sorry about that. The French Competition Authority fined Rolex and Rolex Holdings SA, aka the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. Like I said earlier, Rolex is listed as a charitable organization, meaning that they do not have to pay Swiss tax. So, Rolex, obviously the number one luxury watch brand in the world, does not have to pay tax, which is sizable. And that's why they are head and shoulders above every other company, because they have those resources to put back into their development. So you think that they would come up with a lot more, a lot faster. The French competition watchdog site notes that Rolex's main competitors, who face the same risks, authorize the online sales of their products under certain conditions. In its view, these objectives can be achieved by means and are less restrictive of the competition. Okay, I guess this is a story that is going to unfold. Here's Nathaniel with a super sticker. Ding. Hey, I tried that little trick. Thanks for the info. And it didn't work. I'll get a better bell because it's crap, right? Yeah. I still love you, Tobster. I know we don't agree with a lot of stuff, but we do agree with a lot of other things. I'm extremely moderate, my friend. I'm extremely middle of the road. I think a lot of lefty shit and I think a lot of righty shit. I just think that the world needs to be more moderate. And I do not think the United States of America is what people think it is. I don't. That's why I want to live in Italy. That's why. Jean-Claude Biver says, anyone into chronographs, check out the Wikipedia article on Nicolas Roussek. Great short read. He's a forgotten innovator on the scene. Maybe I'll look up some stuff on him myself because I'm not that well versed in that. So, Speedy Tuesday. So let's talk about Daniel Craig, because I was at the Omega event, and I'm a really, really super shitty editor. I mean, I've directed videos for my band and stuff, and I know how to do it, and I have all the stuff, all the gear. But like, I filmed my father-in-law and I at the Omega thing, and there's some fun shit on it. It was cool. But I should have had it out like 3 days later, but I didn't. I didn't. And then it would have been made sense. But now it's like, now it's so past the fact, like who would care? I went to the Omega event. It was really cool. I saw absolutely no stars. I had some fantastic coffee and a really nice kind of biscotto, I should say, because one biscotti is a biscotto. And so here's a picture. Right, let me blow that up. It's not the best picture. There are other pictures, and I'll find one. But I thought this one was the largest. So what we have here is what looks like a classic, the current 3861 Speedmaster, definitely a Hesselite crystal for sure. We have an applied Omega logo, but we have a white dial, and it looks like onyx indices, doesn't it? But a white dial and it says Speedmaster in red. So that is certainly new. Now, if I go back on this page, this was the Hodinkee article, which Daniel Craig he's got his hair is about as weird as mine is tonight. So they had this picture, right? You seeing that? Let me blow that up. Okay, for you all to have a look at. Okay, that's nicer. I mean, what does that look like? It looks like the Snoopy without Snoopy on it. It looks like Snoopy without Snoopy on it. Which maybe we can all have a Snoopy now, but that's an 1861, and it's worth a fortune. Just the dial. I wonder how many people can probably buy a Snoopy dial from China and just have their watchmaker slap it on there. I mean, that could be done too, right? What would be the point of that? I don't know. Can I make this bigger? I want to see this large. This is as big as it'll get. It says blow up. Okay, let me see. All right. So Hodinkee won't let me blow it up. I mean, attractive white dial Speedmasters are so cool, right? That's a new thing, right? Everybody was really into the Explorer 2, and that's kind of O'Sheen said it was the last Rolex that hadn't been fucked with, because they fuck with them. Milgauss is gone, and they changed the Air King, they changed the Explorer. They made so many changes, but the Explorer 2 has remained pretty much the same. What's that about? So now you got the Speedmaster here in a white dial. I think it's really attractive. Gives it a larger presence. He's wearing it over his sleeve, which is obviously so people could photograph it. Because I wear one, and I wear one with a button-up shirt, and they slide right under your sleeve, unless he's got some super tight bespoke kind of shenanigans going on there. But it looks like it's cufflinks. Nobody has any information. I googled the shit out of it. It's obviously an unreleased model. He's not doing another James Bond movie, and James Bond didn't wear Speedmasters. He wore Seamasters. He wore Planet Oceans. Didn't wear Speedmasters. Daniel Craig has been seen wearing Milgauss. He wears Rolex. He wears lots of different watches. So, which begs a question. Who is the endorsee? Is it Daniel Craig or is it James Bond? I say James Bond, simply because the franchise is the thing that has the Omega connection, correct? Omega, right? I love that shit. Daniel Craig wears whatever the hell he wants. James Bond does not. James Bond only wears Omega because they have a contract. Now, we all know that throughout time, James Bond wore, obviously he wore a Submariner in Dr. No. And then throughout time, he was wearing Seiko, and he had all kinds of crazy watches until they had this solid, I think it was the very first actual legal paperwork that they had that James Bond had to wear something. Daniel Craig is obviously not bound to such a contract. So I don't know. Nathaniel Hannon, $4.99. Bing. It does not beg the question. It provokes the question. To beg the question is to assume that you intend to prove. I beg the question. I am trying to prove it. I'm not asking. I know he doesn't, because obviously he, listen, I was an endorsed artist for years. With my band, I used a brand of wireless microphone systems, and I was not allowed to use anything else. I had to use that. And when you are a guitar player and you have Gibson, or when you're a piano player and you a pianist and you play Steinway, you can't play Bosendorfer as it's really called, or Bechstein or Fazioli, and you wouldn't play Yamaha unless you're stupid. You don't. So Daniel Craig is not endorsed. He does not endorse Omega watches, but James Bond does. So when he is portraying the character of James Bond, he has to wear Omega. That's just the deal. But he likes the brand. I'm sure that he has a great relationship with them, but he obviously has the leeway to do whatever he wants. So I do beg the question. I beg the question. I'm not trying to say no. I think there's no way, because he wouldn't be allowed to do that contractually. And I've seen him wearing a Millie. He's been wearing it. So yeah, that's what I think. Now I beg the question, because this I do not know. I do not know. What person of royalty wears an Omega and only wears Omega? A royalty? I do not frickin' know. Carolyn Martin. Is everybody getting their Christmas list together? And if they are you getting some writing instruments? Because, the beautiful Carolyn Martin makes extraordinary writing instruments. And I'll send you a link to her. I'll put a link up in the description because they're absolutely beautiful. What person of royalty wears an Omega and only wears an Omega? Is it Harry? I'm guessing. Or William? One of the boys, right? Can you give us a shout out right now, since we're guessing? Oh, Andrew says Harry, a gift from his mom. Well, she's got class and taste. Even though I was bestowed upon with this beautiful Milgauss, I am a Speedmaster fanatic, as you all know, the CK2915 being my favorite watch of all time. Carolyn Martin says, you are correct. It is Prince William. Oh, yeah, there you go. What did she wear? I don't even know. I didn't see the second half of The Crown. I watched the first half, and it was, I thought I was burnt out on The Crown. I thought, okay, I'm done with this. It's been great. It's been a great run. We've had 3 or 4 different queens, and the cast keeps shifting. I was so upset when the first cast left, because I just thought it was perfection. But, as they get older, and I just didn't think certain people were going to be excellent in the role, and it turns out they were all great. I'm not had a problem. This woman who played Diana was absolutely astonishing in the way that that softness, that pause, the way she speaks. She's way too tall. She's like 6'2". She's a giant woman. But my God, did she capture Elizabeth Debicki? Man, did she capture the essence. I forgot entirely that I was watching an actress portray Princess Diana. And I remember I was in a car. I was coming home from work. I had just started at El Rio Grande in New York City, 1997. I had gone to Sarge's Deli to pick up some dinner for us. I was in a taxi cab because there was no Ubers then, and it was on the radio in the cab. So everybody, that's, for those of us who weren't alive, which is most of us weren't alive during the JFK assassination, those people really remember where they were. And for us, it certainly was Princess Diana and Steve Jobs for me. Yeah. Andrew says, my mistake. Harry got the Explorer too. Yeah, I've seen him in that. I've seen him. He wears a lot of other watches too, because he was in the military. He had a very pretty storied. He's a pilot, pretty storied career militarily, and then that woman had to come and fuck it all up for him. That how did anybody not see that grifter skank box coming his way? He doesn't talk to his brother and his sister-in-law. I mean, he is ostracized from the family. They were the closest thing in the world, and that woman from Suits, she's a shitty actress. Wow, who didn't see that coming? Not that I give a toss about the British royal family as an Irish person, but I like Princess Diana very, very much. and I thought her kids were sensational. And I just think it's sad that it's always sad when somebody comes in and wedges. It's happened in my own family. A certain person married a certain person and then took that person and their immediate family away from our family, because they were a sociopath or whatever they were. They pissed on good people. They destroyed, and she knew what she was getting into. I think she orchestrated the whole thing. She's a good looking girl. She's exotic. She's flavorful. And he's a pale British pasty guy is what is the word I'm looking for to put this delicately? His paternity is in question. His father, who his real father is in question. Because he doesn't look like his dad at all, whereas William does, and he looks just like that other guy. So I don't know. Carolyn Martin says, we look at Megan as proof that you guys will do anything we ask you to. Well, isn't that a fact? Because, and I'm not going to say the P word because it's nasty. I'll say cunt because I'm Irish and we use that, and it's never directed at women, but like, that particular thing that women have that men don't have has driven how many civilizations into war, and caused men to jump off of cliffs and commit murder. And it's just a powerful drug that, man, I'm so grateful has no effect on me. Because holy shit, the things I've seen that do to men, because we're such weak emotional creatures, and women are so much more powerful than we have. What they possess, the power they possess is incredible. And yeah, so she came in there and she saw him coming, and he had no idea. She played him like a flute by numbers. She just went in there. And even I remember watching that wedding and all the political bullshit because she's kind of black. I mean, kind of. Oh man, that kind of stuff just drives me bananas. And then all the stuff she said, like, what color is the baby going to come into? Nobody said that. Nobody. I don't believe a word of that. I don't believe that. Machine looks blacker than she does. It's just that people love to play the race card, and it's just it's grotesque. There are actually people in this world that, because of their color and their background, they are discriminated against. She looks as white as everybody else does. She's an inexplicable thing. So I don't know. She's playing the black card. I guess it's easy to play, What I didn't tell everybody is that my biological father is black. So I'm going to start applying for reparation. I could do that, right? He's not. Andrew Volker just caused man to eat. Well, hey, doesn't that just say it all? I was talking to somebody very innocuously the other day about Christmas, and, 'tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la, and all that. And how now even in Italy, Paul had said, "Oh, I saw," because Ashim was going through Venice, taking everybody on a cool tour of what's going on Christmassy wise in Venice, and no manger, no manger. Where's the manger? Where is the manger? Well, there's Christmas trees, even at the basilica. Where's the manger? And it's like Christmas is the birth of Christ. So, and I'm not the most religious person, even though my Catholic upbringing, but however, there would be no Santa Claus and his elves and all that other shit if, it wasn't because of Jesus. He was the guy that started it all. So now we've got, all this, middle of the road, blandy crap. That's Christmas. Christmas for everybody. Christmas for, which is nice, but it's kind of like if you do that. Somebody recently said that they kept stealing the baby Jesus out of the manger in my neighborhood, and then somebody put up a sign. This is a couple of years ago. Somebody put up a sign and said, "Ruining the Christmas season." they put a sign up there, like it was the person that stole it left the note. And I was like, okay, this is misguided anger. You should guide your anger towards Meghan Markle. And I know so many people who are obsessed with her. They are absolutely obsessed with Meghan Markle. And it's like, is it because, oh shit, you could do that too? Is that anybody could marry a prince? I mean, what would be the impetus for caring anything about that fucking girl? I mean, she's a shitty actress. She's an okay looking, she's a bit of a ride. Okay, maybe she is. She's got really pretty hair. But to go in there, and did anybody see their Oprah interview? Look at me, I'm as salacious as everybody else right now. But I remember being so offended because when Oprah sits down with anybody, it's gonna be an American Idol moment where people cry and say how hard their life has been and all that. And that's what she did. And it was just such a load of crap. You fifth string D-list actress just married English royalty. And now you are riding around in Daimlers and you wearing crown jewels and you are flying not even a private plane. It's the royal plane. And she's like, I don't want to do. She wants to take whatever money he has and then get out of that because she doesn't want to do any of that work. Because the royals have, they have a schedule. They have duties to perform, and she didn't want to do that. She wanted her cake and she wanted to eat it too. Ah, so there she goes. Neely says, a priest once told me I need a patient woman. I'm happy with his evaluation. A priest told you that? I tell myself what to and will only do. I tell myself what to and will only do what I tell myself to do. That's why I'm single. Okay. That was a tongue twister and a half. Commas, maybe. I'm single in these times. Normally the ones that does the telling I couldn't bear it. Just get a great watch. Get a Speedmaster. Neely, what do you wear? What is your watch of choice? Neely, again, Meghan Markle to me is horrible. To everyone, she's a horrible person. Who she thinks she's a good person? She's a total and utter skankbox. She's loathsome. She's the Real Housewives of Buckingham Palace. And that guy doesn't talk to his dad. He had fucked up his relationship with the queen. Now his dad is the king, and he doesn't talk to his brother, who's gonna be the king. I mean, this is just like Wallace Simpson, the one who made the king abdicate, and then later on Madonna made a movie about it. Which wasn't bad. She wasn't in it. That's why it was pretty good direction. Wasn't terrible. It was called WS? Yeah, something. It was good. Topes from Kentucky. How much will the Duchess of Van Nuys get when she divorces the purse-carrying cook? Yeah. Well, have you ever seen more of a cuckold in your life than that? And I think this is why I love you, Topester, because we do agree on a lot of things. I'm just not very rah-rah America. And that's okay. You can be. I'm rah-rah-rah. Very little. Very, very little am I rah-rah. Rah-rah Omega. Rah-rah Milgas. I'm totally with you on this shenanigans. The holy fuck. She's going to divorce him, and now she's got two of his offspring. So, and then he's going to go crying back to daddy. He's going to go back to his supposed daddy. She had me under her spell, her vaginal spell. It had me, and I was lost in her milkiness and her chocolateness and all the things. I was bedazzled by her diversity, and yeah, because you know what? It's like I used to tell all my black friends, you want to go get laid? Go fly into Sligo. Because they've never seen anything like that before. And they'll be like, oh my God, it's a chocolate goddess. They've never seen everybody's freckly and pasty and all that. And I worked with a friend. She was from Tehran, but she grew up in Ireland. She's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in the history of the world. And she was born in Tehran to Iranian parents. But when the Shah was deposed, he spirited her off and she moved to Ireland. She lived in Wicklow, 6 feet tall, and a Persian goddess. One of the most beautiful women. And she's Padma Lakshmi times 10, way better looking than that. And I mean, the guys would just literally drop dead. She was proposed to every fucking day because they'd never seen it. So Harry saw this, even though he's international. He goes to the colonies and saw the brown people and saw the people that we have, whose countries we've ruined, and we make them all. We drink tea because of them. They all drink tea because of that. And I've had that screen on way too long. Thank God for the tea thing. It's the only thing I kind of thank the British for, because I can't thank them for very much, but I can thank them because I love tea. I love a good cup of Lions. Yeah, poor Harry. She's gonna divorce him big time, and she's gonna marry a guy from the NBA, and then she's gonna divorce him too. And she's too old. She's too long in the tooth to have any more kids, right? She's much older than him, right? She's considerably older. Carolyn Martin says he won't go back. He is British. He'll just continue to make more bad decisions. Oh, no, he's going to run back. It's going to happen. She's going to break his heart, and he's going to go off on a bender, and he's going to wear like a swastika patch like he used to do and be a fucking maniac. Remember when he was like wearing Nazi regalia and getting drunk? And then they straightened him out, and he became so amazing. And then she came and ruined his life. He's definitely going to go, Daddy, that woman came and she stole me heart. What do I do? The British people, the royal family, have that singular accent that's untraceable. It's not RP. It's not received. It's very, very incredibly tidy. The royal. Nearly, that's why all the old money and smart people have the family in trust to protect as their issues get. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to spill the tea, but I know a particular family whose money is not accessible to you or to your betrothed or your whomever, because it only comes to you after a certain period of time and in dribs and drabs. It's all locked up in trust, so you can't get it. And yeah, he's on a stipend, right? He's got money, but it's all in a stipend. She's not getting the key to the kingdom, or the combination to the safe. She doesn't even have the rubber band for the bag. She just lives off of the Oprah gossip and all the tabloid shit and selling pictures of her kids and all the whorery that she's done so far to make money. His money's all tied up, MJOH says they're German. Well, aren't they? They're the what was their Hess, right? You marry the king and the queen marries you, and he was Greek. And he changed his name to Mountbatten. That's not real. And Windsor is not their real name. Saxe-Coburg. They're the Saxe-Coburgs. They're Germans. They're not even British. But man, did they look British? They look British now. They certainly got British. Rob F says, I suspect she was trying to get her hands on some of the crown jewels, not Harry's. But apparently Harry's those gingers are very in season these days. I remember when gingers couldn't get arrested. Now it's all about the gingers. Apparently ginger men are extremely well endowed, something I was unaware of because I've never seen it. Never, ever seen it. But apparently that's true, and they're very in fashion right now. Just reminds me of that guy that was in he's a redhead. He's a dick, but it's because he plays a dick. Does anybody remember the guy that was on Entourage? Not Eric. The guy that was in he was in Austin Powers, and he's just a sarcastic little fucker. That guy has cleaned up in Hollywood like there's no tomorrow. Topster says he was cool when he was banging porn stars in Vegas suites and flying choppers for the Royal Navy. Then he went full soy. You never go full soy. Oh god, that's a Tropic Thunder quote, which is one of the greatest movies ever made. And Robert Downey Jr. did blackface in that movie and didn't get in trouble for it. You know why? I don't know why. He did it, and like everybody loved it. Like he was a white guy playing a black guy playing a white guy. Was that the joke? Oh my god! Now you got white face, black face, Jew face, gay face, and I am very excited. That's very funny, Topster. Thank you for that. I really enjoyed that. Banging porn stars, flying choppers, and went full soy. Soy gives you man boobs. It gives you gynomastia. It's a true story. People shouldn't do that. Tim says, boom, upvoted. Thank you, Tim. Because I called Meghan Markle a skank box and that she's like not really black. I'm just so tired of everybody playing the gay card, the Jew card, the black card. It's like we're all the same. We're just people. We're all just people, man. And be nice to everybody and don't say what you are. It doesn't matter. You're a human being. We're all human beings. Let's just all be in this pile together. It doesn't matter. It's nice that you have like like I love all the Book of Kells and all the gorgeous stuff we have, and the Irish has. The Irish have it's amazing history, and the Italians have incredible history. All these countries and these cultures are amazing. They're great, but to use them is like we fucked around with a lot of people, but you never see the Irish bitching about reparations about shit, and that was like 800 years of fucking bullshit, kids. It was terrible. Andrew Wilkowicz says, I believe I heard Harry gets $2 million a year allowance. I don't think he gets that now. I mean, now that he's off the roster for royal duties, right? I don't think so. Google Lady Diana's horse trainer, the actual father, the spitting image of Harry. Give me a second. Now I'm gonna come up with that guy. Harry's real father. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. James Hewitt. Okay, now this is the guy, right? Here we go, kids. This is. I remember when this went down, and I was like, "Oh damn! Ooh, cha! Ooh, ooh, spaghetti! Ooh." That's James Hewitt, but he's like Commander James Hewitt or General or Lieutenant James Hewitt. He's a very respected RAF dude or military guy. God, wasn't she the loveliest? I mean, you can be Irish and adore Diana, can't you? And look at Harry. Yeah, I mean, somebody needs to replant the garden because he's really losing his hair. Wow. Look at that. Gingers don't usually go bald, do they? But look, that's his dad. And doesn't that look like the real deal? It sure does. Mick in Florida. Right, it's a Mick in Florida. MJOH says, shit, my youngest brother's ginger. He's definitely way more hung than you are, apparently. Ray says, whoops, our museums are full of stolen. Yeah, people are just so fucked up. We rape and pillage and destroy cultures, and we build fucking fake lines that say I'm this and I'm that. I was just watching, I love to watch YouTube walking videos of places I've never been. And I've toured a lot in Germany, and I've been to France, as a tourist. I've never played there. I was looking at Strasbourg, which is a Christmas town, but it's, Santa Christmas is they're keeping the Christ out of Christmas, man. They're keeping the Christ out of Christmas. And that's France, the Roman Catholic. It's the most beautiful cathedral I think I've ever seen. I'm dying to see it. It's called the Cathedral of Strasbourg, or otherwise Notre Dame, if you're American. And it is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. But it is right on the border. One whole side of it is on Germany. So it's like it either borders it or crosses over. Some of it's in there. It is amazing. How did I get on that? I don't remember. Anyway, oh yeah. We draw these borders. I mean, it's a German town in France. It's German. I'm sure at one time the border was further. It's like Trieste in Italy. It was Yugoslavia. It was Italy. It was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. These things change. These lines change, and cultures get people assimilate and people don't assimilate, and that's the problem with the United States, is that nobody wants to assimilate. I firmly believe in assimilation. I think if I move to France, I need to speak French and I need to be respectful of French culture. I believe you should do, but nobody thinks they should do that here because there isn't one. What is our culture? McDonald's? What is the American culture? Overeating and plastic? I don't know. But like you should probably speak English. I just think if you move to a country that has a different language than you should go to Berlitz or you should go on Duolingo. And I'm not trying to be get off my lawn, but how are you going to succeed? I used to work with this amazing guy. He's a bar back, and I loved him. I still love him. I just don't. I'm sure he's still at the place, but I used to work with him on his English. He would teach me all the dirty Spanish words, and I'd work on his English because he was so bright. And I said, you could go so much further if you had a better command of the English language. Hey man, I'd go get a bartending gig tomorrow if I thought my Italian was a little bit better. But it probably would be in a week or 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, because my vocabulary is excellent. It's just, being put on the spot to answer people asking you questions in Italian. Graham Cartwright says, totally agree regarding the card issues. Well, it's very easy to play that. I'm gay. I don't fucking care. Who cares? Good for you. Knock yourself out. I am Irish. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. I mean, they don't. Watch It's Brian. Watch It's Brian. I tell people I am a human first, American second, Jewish third, and above all of those, I am a father and a husband. See, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because that's what you are. You're a human. You happen to be a person of Jewish extraction, and you live in America, and you're an American citizen. Right. Yeah. I'm a wannabe Italian, but my DNA is 99.993% Irish. And the 3%, I should pull that up. You want to see that? That's fucking funny. I'm going to do that in a second. I'm going to show you what it says on there, but I'm going to get to some other things first. I didn't get to my little Speedmaster. I was going to talk about the history of the Speedmaster. We'll do it tomorrow or Thursday. Tobster, look up the pictures of Fidel Castro when he was a history teacher at Havana University, then compare it to Justin Trudeau. His mom said Fidel was the sexiest, most vibrant man she ever met. Uh-oh. Are we starting a rumor that Justin Trudeau's dad is Fidel Castro? I think that would make Oisin extremely happy. Tobster McDonkey says there is not a picture of him horse training. Looks exactly like Harry. Yeah, we're back to that. Tobster said Trudeau is Castro's bastard for sure. I mean, God, he's ugly. Ugh, God, Justin Trudeau is a handsome guy, kind of, a little bit. So yeah, yes, Alsace-Lorraine was German between 1871. Yeah, that's what it was. Fries Monster. And we're watching it. Switzerland, of course, has 4 languages. Yeah, Swiss German, German, Italian, and French. And if you go to Lugano, which is in Switzerland, it's an Italian city in Switzerland where everybody speaks French. But the big difference is the trains are on time and the streets are spotless and there's no graffiti. The sad thing when you walk around Italy is, and it's my favorite place on earth, is that there's graffiti on all the buildings. And it's not even like art. It's not beautiful. It's like they're tagging shitty names on the sides, and it's everywhere. It's in Venice, it's in Rome, it's everywhere. You don't see a lot of it in Trieste until you go in the back. And it was where Paul's aunt-in-law, Anne, sorry, she's his second aunt, great aunt. His great aunt said is where the prostitutes used to be. It used to be the nasty part of town. There's no nasty part of Trieste now. It's very elegant. But you go into the second you step into Switzerland, there's absolutely no graffiti. You could lick the corners of the sidewalk and it tastes delicious. It's the cleanest country I have ever seen in my life. But I've never been to Singapore, and I probably will never go there because that doesn't interest me at all. They don't have food I want. They don't have anything I want. They have nothing I want there. Not into Gmails. Not my thing. Switzerland is my thing, and I love it. But knock yourself out. Tim says, I can't wait for the Borga cube to come to her. The Borg. I think I'm looking at it like it's Victor Borga. The Borg cube. Yeah. Yeah. You will be assimilated. You will assimilate. Yeah, the Borg. They just come and they just take everybody. It's incredible. Alsatian language is French grammar with German vocabulary. Really weird. Is that true? Is that true? Wow. Resistance is futile. It is. Yeah. It's great. I used to know that whole speech upside down. There, we'll take your technology and incorporate it. I used to know that really well. Des Ferris says, "Hey, Dirk, just want to say you're doing an incredible job with iBash." Well, I don't know about that. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, including and not including the birth of Jesus Christ. Thanks, Des Ferris. You're Irish, right, Des? Des. You are. Where was I going to go a minute ago? I wanted to say something. Oh, can I go back? Something I wanted to. Oh God, I forgot my train of thought, and it was going to be really good. I was going to go. Oh yeah, I was going to go show you this. Give me a second. It's funny. Oh, will it not show that? I have to go on my other browser because I don't know the login for that. But this is funny. I'm going to show you my 23andMe because I think you'll find it funny. Okay. I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, verification code. What did they send that on me phone? Jesus. Why would they do that, 23andMe? Did they send it to my I'm not going to be able to do it. Because I don't have my phone. And I think iMessage is only for people who use iPhones. Am I correct or not? I think I'm correct. Yeah. What a shame. What a shame that I tried to do that. Anyway, so here's the story with the 23andMe. It says I'm 99.996% Irish, and the rest it says Levantine. Like 0.4% Levantine. I'm like, oh my God, that's like Palestine or Israel, depending on which side you think it is. It's that whole area. And I was like, what the fuck? I know that none of my people came from, Ireland. We all started in the cradle of civilization somewhere between the Tigris and the Euphrates, right? But holy shit. What the fuck did that mean? I was so excited about it. Andrew Wolkovich says, everyone upvote and support iBashers. Yeah, you should please do that because a week from tomorrow, right? A week from tomorrow, we're going to be giving away the Seiko. And we changed the rules. And let me get into that right now. Hold on, let me go. I should have had this ready to go, but I didn't. But here it goes. And I'm going to blow this up because it looks great. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. So, great. Let's go and show this before I forget. This is very important. And then I'm going to tell you something, and you're all going to be happy to hear it. Okay, so there you go. There it is, kids. That is the watch that we are giving away next Wednesday. And the rules have changed. Fuck the trivia question because it got too confusing for people. People panicked. All you have to do is be a member of this channel. You just have to subscribe to this channel. We don't have memberships yet, but we're going to start that any minute since we're doing the new format for iBashers. We have Classic Oshin and I on Wednesdays. I do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And we're going to start membership soon, Patreon, all that shit, so I can get the fuck out of here and move to Italy because that's where I'm going. Can't stand it. Can't take it anymore. So there's the watch, and I want everybody to have a chance to win it. So does Ush, and we really want to make sure that you guys have the ability to do so. So I took it away. Anyway, the answer was 2003, and that was it. And it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. So nobody cares. Who cares? Who cares? Fred Armisen, who cares? I don't care. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to be giving away this watch next Wednesday. We're going to write down everybody who subscribes, and we're going to put it in the thing. I got this little bin. I'm going to spin it around, and I'm just going to pick one right out of the top, and kaboom, that's going to be the winner. $4.99. Nathaniel Hannon. Did I do that for you? Andrew, I don't think I did. That's terrible. Nathaniel Hannon. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Pope scrolled their names all over every ancient building in Rome. Why wouldn't modern youths? Yeah, well, it's like I don't know how true this is, and I'm not trying to create any kind of scandal, but a very prominent Jewish person told me this once, and I did not know that Jews don't believe in heaven, that there's no concept of heaven. So that's why they donate all their money at the end and put up pavilions for buildings and stuff. And I think that's really cool because if you're an atheist, well, they're not atheists, but they don't believe in this, fake panacea of whatever this heavenly place that everybody believes in. They put their names so their names live on forever, so they're remembered. And that's an interesting way. You could give to charity and have your name up there. It's a monument to yourself. And here's my cat. Hello, honey. She's showing up right at the right time. Hey, honey, where you going? Where are you going? She's walking across the room because she's just nosy. I don't know if that's true or not. Any Jewish people in the room who say that? Is there no such thing as heaven in the Jewish religion? I didn't know that. I mean, it's a concept so many people cling to, and it's hope. I had a whole episode on it. It's hope. You hope that there's something better after this. So I would think that that's kind of shitty if that's not true. But hey, that's pretty cool if it is true. Yeah. Watch it. Brian says Jews live on in the remembrance of others similar to Mexican Day and idea. Yeah, it's beautiful too. So much nicer than the Catholic way. We do a lot of things. There's a lot of pain involved in our shit, right? I know there's Jewish guilt, there's Catholic guilt too, and that's not so good. Jews don't believe in hell, show enough says. I don't know. Yeah, I guess not. Hell is a stupid concept anyway, right? Aren't we in hell right now? Literally, with bills and murder and racists and race cards and Meghan Markle and all the terrible things in the world. Isn't that hell on earth? I think it is. Watch Its Pride says, we don't have hell, we have Jewish mothers. I'll tell you, some of the greatest mothers I've ever known. My mother wasn't Jewish, but some of my friends' mothers were the houses you always wanted to be in. They were amazing. All the Jewish mothers, the way they man, it reminds me of that Sex in the City episode where Valerie Harper, who played Rhoda on the Mary Tyler Moore Show and later on her own show, she is Justin Theroux's mother, and he's a very handsome guy, and they get it on, and he's got a premature ejaculation problem, and the mother's like, but it's just, you're not just in a relationship with him, you're also in it with me. And it's like she fell in love with his Jewish mother, as she should have, because what are you going to do with that? So here's the watch. We're giving away next Wednesday. This is the Land Tortoise from Seiko. It is absolutely gorgeous. All you have to do is like and subscribe to the iBashers, and you are eligible to win. And right now we have about 1,675 subscribers to the channel. So please like and subscribe. And that's what we're going to do with Asheen and I, both of us. We're going to do it on the Classic Wednesdays. So it's going to be a week from tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow night with Asheen at 4:00 for an episode of Classic iBashers, and I'll be back Thursday and Friday nights for our genuine heart-to-heart. I will continue on the Speedmaster thing. I just want to get these in before I go. Andrew Wolkowicz says, at the end of it all, we can be an inspiration in others' lives and a blessing in their memories when we're gone, or we just smoke and ash. Everyone be a blessing. That's right. I agree 100%. Altera says, in the coming weeks, maybe find the time to talk about the glory days of Pan Am, TWA, and Boeing. Yeah, baby. Sarin and Terminal at JFK. Man, I got something amazing for Paul for Christmas. Paul worked at the TWA Saarinen building. He was a ramp rat at TWA, and my whole life revolved around that. We tried very, very hard, by the way, Altera, to save the world port. We were very involved in the saving of the Pan Am terminal. We were very involved in the early exploration of possibilities of it becoming a hotel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of that's true. And the JFK terminal was knocked down, Terminal 8, in 2008, and that unbelievable glass. The largest glass, stained glass mural in the world was destroyed. And now they have a big, it looks like a Costco. It's so shitty, but we'll talk about that. Okay, that's great. Altera, come meet me on Thursday and Thursday night. We'll talk about stuff. I'll have some things to tell you all. I'm actually going tomorrow to pick up this gift that I got for Paul for Christmas. I'm not going to say what it is, but it took me a long time to find it, and it's related to that, and it's really, 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 really super, super great. So yeah, that's the story. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow with Asheen at 4 o'clock. And thank you for joining us. Just don't forget to like and subscribe because this watch can be yours. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.